Hello, welcome to Beachview, our podcast about all sorts of things and stuff.
Yes, and today we're doing another round of short YouTube videos. So I've compiled yet another list of just random YouTube videos.
I think we should really call it weird YouTube videos, so...
I don't know that these are all that weird, but...
Not all of them.
most of them are kind of comedy stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. Always interesting when we do these YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's just random stuff I remember or find that I've seen on YouTube or elsewhere, as the case may be for some of these.
Yeah, and some of it's like some nice, nostalgia.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's get into it.
Okay. So the first one you have named, Let's Go Gambling.
Yeah, the actual title is Gamblecore.
So this is an interesting depiction of a slot machine. It's also pretty much an accurate description of any time I try to gamble.
Wow, yeah, well... So this is a little stick figure guy saying, let's go gambling, and then losing a bunch in a row and saying, oh, dang it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a line draw, like a sketch and animated. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, it's like a specific online style from a app for the Nintendo DS, so...
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this became popular not too long ago. It was a meme.
I liked it. It was definitely accurate to my experience gambling, so that's why I don't gamble.
Yeah.
Kind of funny.
Alright, well, next.
Next, Darth Plagueis?
Plagueis? I don't remember how it's pronounced in the clip.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember either. I definitely don't understand this. Do you want to describe it?
Well, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No, never.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you.
Okay, I don't get it. But when I glanced at the comments, I gathered that he's bragging about killing his master in his sleep.
Yeah, I think that is the canon answer. I've never liked that interpretation,
Okay.
but
okay.
I think that is the actual answer. But yes, so this is a clip from the 2005 film Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. It became a meme for a while, as did many quotes from this film. And it's Chancellor Palpatine, who later becomes the Emperor, trying to seduce Anakin, who's the second character in the scene, who becomes Darth Vader, to the dark side, and he does that by telling him a Sith legend about an old space wizard guy who could control life.
Oh, okay.
And Anakin's interested in this power because he had premonitions that his wife would die.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I definitely didn't get it. And I was like, this is one of those Star Wars things because I haven't seen any besides the first one or understand any of the lore. So I was kind of in the dark on this one, which I figured you knew I wouldn't get. So interesting story.
I mean, I don't know. I just picked this because it was a meme.
Yeah, I figured that too. I was like, you'll explain it to me.
Yeah, I just think the line delivery's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good little story, so there you go. But I was just like, there's something more to this that I just am not understanding.
Yeah, have you ever heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? And then I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's just, I think that's a good line delivery, and I think that's why people memed it so much.
I got you. I saw a lot in the comments that said, not a story a Jedi would tell you.
Yep.
So I figured there was something there.
Yep.
Pop culture. All right.
So next.
How do you pronounce that?
Fohugugods. That's how it's pronounced in the, video. Except sometimes I think it's pronounced Fohugmagods, so...
Yeah. Either way, it's gibberish to me. So it's like this little wrestling mask guy. He's wearing a wrestling mask. It's like an animation. And he's... You describe it, because my notes don't make any sense.
So, this is from Homestar Runner. That's the name of the website this appeared on, which is a website that had Flash animation starting in the year 2000. That was fairly popular online. We've actually watched a different Homestar Runner thing on a previous one of these. But this one in particular is from a series called Strong Bad Emails, where the character in the wrestling mask answers emails. This became like a fairly popular one of these Strong Bad emails, where his email says like, "Dear Strong Bad, I love you," and then just like hits the keyboard randomly, which is why it's like Fahugu Gods.
Yeah, and he's like reading it, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he replies, and he says the feeling isn't mutual, and then he paints a picture of a guy with a knife.
Yep.
So the one thing I did like in this is that, like, when they're showing, like, the wrestling mask guy, like, looking at the computer screen, like, the words are, like, spaced out, like, around his head, which doesn't make any kind of sense, but... You know what I mean? Like
what his? Oh yeah, because of
the words are like indented to like show around his head, which like wouldn't happen on like a normal email.
Yeah. It's just the consequences of animation, I guess.
Yeah, it was just funny because I was like, that's like not something that would happen normally. So
yeah, there's a whole bunch of these where this guy in a wrestling mask answers emails.
It's like so random, but. Also funny.
Yeah, in retrospect, I think I maybe picked a bad one of these for this. Because I think some of them probably make more sense on their own. But it's all just like comedy sketches based on this guy answering his email.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one was funny because he's like, the person was like, I love you. And he's like, yeah, the feeling isn't mutual. I could be painting a picture of a guy with a big knife. In fact, that's what I'll do. And then he paints a picture of a guy with a big knife. So,
yep.
I feel like it worked.
All right. Well, next.
Okay, next, who's on first?
Yeah, so this one's cheating. Not a YouTube video, but
yeah,
it's a classic, so...
So this is Abbott and Costello, which I've definitely seen this before, and something I've heard referenced many, many times, so it makes sense to me.
Yes, it's a famous comedy sketch. This one is from the 1945 film The Naughty 90s, so...
Dang, 1945? That's so old.
Apparently this bit is older than that, but this is where this recording of it's taken from.
Oh, I didn't know the bit was older too. It is funny because you still hear like people reference like who's on first like every once in a while.
Oh yeah, no, it's still a classic for a reason. It's very funny.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, I guess the whole thing centered around the baseball players are named weird things like who or what. So he's like saying who's on first. He thinks he's asking the question who's on first. He's like, yeah, you're correct. Who is on first?
Yeah. It's like classic miscommunication, but it's actually, they are communicating, but like it's just confusing in that way, so.
Yeah, their delivery's really good. Just a classic comedy skit all around.
And I've heard like people at work, like especially older people, like make this reference like when something is like confusing and they're like, one person might think this and another person thinks that, and they're like, yeah, who's on first, haha. So,
really?
Definitely, yes, I have heard this like definitely referenced at work like multiple times over the years.
I've heard it referenced a bunch. I've never heard it referenced in like to say something's confusing.
Yeah, definitely. Which I think is kind of funny. So,
because I've either heard people like take the like if someone says who and they're like who's on first, they'll say that, or they'll like do the same bit like if there's someone with a confusing name, especially like video game characters or like movie characters or something.
Yes, yeah, I've heard it in those references as well. But yeah, I've always thought it was interesting because it's like stood the test of time.
Yep, very good classic, like I keep saying,
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remembered, like, oh yeah, I could put this on here. That is a great comedy skit.
Yeah.
And it would fit perfectly on this list.
For sure. I liked it.
Yep, well, next?
Okay, Dino DNA.
Yes, so, what did you think of this?
So, the accent is funny, and the repetition of him, like, saying Dino DNA is, like, the goofiest thing. Especially, like, when the image turns, like, a full circle, like, near the end, where he keeps, like, repeating and the image just, like, rotates. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, so this is a YouTube poop, a really old one at that. We've covered YouTube poops on here before, but thought this one was funny. It's from the anime Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And in the original, this character says, well, he says it in this YouTube poop, but he's like dinosaur themed, and he's like, on a routine dig, I got injured and had to have one of my bones replaced with a dinosaur bone. So now I have dino DNA.
Yeah, so then this one, it just keeps saying dino DNA, dino DNA. I have dino DNA. So it's just like comical, like repetitive.
Yeah.
You know, kind of funny. I think this was like a classic for your list of YouTube videos, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is like a whole genre of YouTube videos, just taking a scene from something and just making it funny by cutting in random ways.
Yeah, I like the editing. It's very creative. Fun times.
Next.
Okay, gnomed.
Yep.
For some reason, I don't like this gnome.
Oh. Well, you've seen this gnome before. I used a repeat one just because I think it's funny to gnome you.
Yeah, and then I think it's funny how he says, I'm a gnome, but then he says, you got gnomed, and he says that correctly.
Yeah.
So I think it's just funny how he kind of switches it up.
Yep, but it is a gnome laughing and saying, you've been gnomed.
Yeah. But it's like a creepy gnome, not like a friendly gnome.
I don't think he's creepy. I think he's just poorly animated.
Well, maybe that's what it is. But I was like, yeah, I don't like this gnome.
Yeah, this was a meme for some reason.
Who knows?
I don't know,
why
like, the
things
full
become
permutations of this, but people went in weird directions with this one. I just think the original's funny.
Yeah. It's comical.
It's like getting stick bugged, you know?
I'd much rather be stick bugged than gnomed.
Yeah, stick bugs are cooler than gnomes. You are correct about that.
Yeah, obviously. We like the stick bugs.
Jeff, I figured I'd gnome you again.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Next time you have to put a stick bug on here.
Alright, well, next.
Okay, so next XP startup.
Yep.
Which is exactly what it sounds like. Windows XP starting up.
Yep. It's the noise Windows XP made when it would start up.
This is nostalgia. Like, I remember this sound very well.
Yeah.
What year was this? That's what I want to know.
XP's what, 2001? Yeah, so it was released in 2001.
Isn't it funny how, like, even, like, these little noises, like, so long ago just, like, stick in your brain?
Yeah, I think that's just how memory of music works.
Yeah. But this is one of those funny ones where you're like, oh, I remember that sound.
Yep.
Kind of like the AOL startup.
Alright, well, next.
Grand Slamwich.
Yeah, so this is the ending of a video called Charlie Tay Unicron, which is like a wackier, sort of more bent towards comedy version of Charlie the Unicorn that came out in 2010, I want to say. And for whatever reason, this scene of this guy, like, they're ordering at a Denny's for some reason. And this guy's like, the waiter's sitting there like, they're trying to order, and he's like, you're getting Grand Slamwiches.
Yeah. They're trying to order, like, different things, and he's like, you're getting, no matter what, like, it doesn't matter what you try to order, you're getting a Grand Slamwich.
They're very popular.
Because they're very popular. Yeah. And, so it's like, I think, what, 3 unicorns and a banana?
Yeah.
Are sitting there trying to order? Yeah.
Yes, those are the unicorns from Charlie the Unicorn. If you remember Charlie the Unicorn, which we watched on the podcast.
I don't remember the banana, though.
That's the Banana King.
Oh, the Banana King. Okay. Been a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this was funny because everybody's just getting a Grand Slamwich, whether they want one or not.
You're all getting Grand Slamwiches. They're very popular.
And they don't actually explain it. They're like, it's everything in a Grand Slam and a sandwich.
It says what it's in a Grand Slam.
Oh, it does? I don't remember that.
Yeah, and the unicorn's like, that sounds gross.
I don't remember them saying what's in the Grand Slam, but...
Hold on. You get 2 eggs, some bacon, some... I have the sound off, so I don't know, but it's...
Okay, so they do describe it. Okay. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, and the little unicorn, one of the blue or pink ones, like, that sounds gross as hell or something.
Yeah, and they're like, you're getting it. It doesn't matter.
Yep, they're very popular.
Yeah, that's funny.
Alright, well, next.
Next! Okay, this is a load of barnacles.
Say it like the little fish guy says it.
I don't don't even remember how he says it.
Oh, he has an
You say it.
intonation to him.
Yeah, he does, but I don't remember. But basically, it's just like SpongeBob.
Yep.
And like one fish saying to the other, "This is a load of barnacles," but I don't remember how he says it.
Yeah. It's a bit more sing-songy than how you did it, but...
Yeah, definitely more sing-songy. And I don't remember this episode, though. Is this from a real episode?
Yes.
Because I don't remember that at all.
I think it's the episode where SpongeBob goes missing, and Sandy, like, rounds up the whole town to look for him, and is obsessed with it. I forget
Fun
what,
times.
like, the plot exactly is, but she's, like, harassing the town folk into, like, what? So...
To help.
That's why, that's why he's like, this is a load of barnacles.
Because they don't care.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
Always like a good SpongeBob throwback.
Yep. Also a good reaction video. Next time you're at work, you can turn to your coworker and be like, this is a load of barnacle.
They'd be like, what? Yeah.
Alright, well, next.
Okay, next we have Animal Crossing City Folk, 9 a.m. music. So, I've heard of Animal Crossing, but I actually don't know anything about it. But it's a pleasant song, though.
Yeah, so it's a very popular game series. This one came out on the Wii in 2008. And you're a little guy that lives in a town with little animals. And yeah, you just like go around doing townfolk stuff. You can like fish or grow a garden or talk to the townfolk or get like new furniture for your house, stuff like that. And every hour has a different soundtrack to it.
Oh.
And this is the one for 9 a.m. in this game.
I was wondering why the 9 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah. How funny.
Just randomly put this on here. I think this is like the most memorable track from this game to me. Because I like the little like call and response thing it does.
Yeah. It's funny. Because I was like, I actually don't know much about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's a very popular game series.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of it, but I've never like played it or seen it or have no reference other than like I've heard of it.
Yeah, I like how the it's like an initial melody that has kind of almost like a speech pattern to it.
Yeah.
And then it's like met with the response of like the harmony coming in.
Yeah, I wrote down pleasant song.
Yeah, it's kind of got a jaunty feel to it.
It's also like a little soothing, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like relaxing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I will. The whole game's kind of got a well, there's some parts that don't, but it's kind of got like more of a chill vibe to it.
Yeah, I like the chill music.
But also, I'm not sure if this is appropriate 9 a.m. music. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, and you think it's more like 11 a.m. music?
Yeah, I feel like 9's a bit more exhausting. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I'll agree with you on that one.
Less exhausting than like a 7 a.m. though,
Yeah, 7 a.m. is like terrible.
Okay, well, next.
Alright, next we have 95 Startup. So this is the Windows 95 Startup music. I don't remember this one as well. I must have skipped this version.
Yeah, Windows is the sort of thing where, you often, like, stay with the old version for a time.
Yeah, and then you, like, skip ahead.
Like, I never used Windows Vista. I went straight from XP to 7.
Yeah, I don't remember Vista either.
Because I know Vista's launch was notoriously bad, so, like, a lot of people just didn't use Vista. But, this is from Windows 95.
Yeah, interesting. Definitely. Well, also, like, I didn't have a home computer in 1995.
Right,
so
yeah, that was less common.
Yeah, so I don't think we got one until like 98, 99, so.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's very interesting.
And you probably less likely to hear the startup noise on a school or library computer
like a
type
school
of deal.
computer. Exactly. Yeah, I never really heard it, so. Funny!
Also, fun fact, this was written by Brian Eno, who's a famous ambient composer, or musician.
Ooh!
So.
Interesting.
It's just, interesting that they got, a known guy to record that.
I love that. It's a nice sound.
So I think this is, a really well-liked, startup sound.
Well, they need to bring it back.
I don't think Windows 10 has a startup sound, or 11 for that matter.
I was gonna
think they got
say,
rid of those.
I don't know.
But, these days people are less likely to start their computer up than to just leave it on sleep mode, so...
Oh, for real. I hardly ever restart my computer, which I'm sure isn't great.
I think it's fine now. I mean, if you're really worried about like power consumption, that may be an issue, but I don't know who would be.
Yeah.
But I think back in the day, if you didn't shut it down, it could run into problems. I'm not like totally positive on that though.
Yeah, we used to always shut down our computers, like
Yep.
we were taught that. But whatever.
Yep. All right. Well, next.
High School Musical. Who did this?
Some guy on YouTube. The title
This
of the
is a
video
crime.
is High School Musical, but it sounds realistic.
Yeah. This is like a cacophony.
Oh,
Realistic
right. You don't
sounds.
like the noises.
No, I was
forgot
like,
about
this
that.
is a crime. Call the police immediately. So it's like a scene where they're like in a kitchen, basically like singing a song, but they're like hitting all the glasses and pans together to like make the music. You know how it is in a
Yeah.
musical. But this is like it replaces the like I guess
The
edited
music.
sounds with like with realistic sound. Like if you hit pans together, it just sounds like you're hitting two pans together, you
Yeah.
know? So it's awful and it sounds ridiculous and it looks ridiculous.
Okay. See, so the song is titled, I believe, "Work This Out." Yeah, which you should know that we watched this movie on the podcast.
Yes.
But
And it
yeah.
sounded much better in the movie.
Yeah, well, because it's actual music. I just thought it was funny, like, taking the, like, doing
It is
Foley
funny
work
'cause-
for, like, hitting the pots and pans.
Yeah, I was like, that's why I was like, who did this? Like, who took the time to do this? It is funny, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like, but it's very realistic because it's like, yeah, if they actually were in a kitchen, like, making these noises, it would sound, like, ridiculous. And it does.
I didn't even consider this would, like, bother you.
No, it was fine, but I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a crime against humanity right here.
Yeah, I just thought it was very funny.
It was funny.
Alright, next.
Next, we have I'm Very Hungry.
Yes.
So this is Goofy. So yeah, it's just like a pumpkin guy. It's an animated thing. And the pumpkin guy is he's like sitting at a table and there's like different like food choices in front of him. And he says, give me the whatever. And so then you like click on it and it goes straight to him. I mean, I don't click on it.
Yeah,
Like
the
it
video,
shows in the
yeah.
scene. Yeah, the video, they click on it and it goes to him. And then he like eats it. But if you give him the wrong thing, he says, no, I don't want it.
Yeah, and then it gets weird.
Yeah, always gets weird. So then there's like the next set of choices is like 4, what looks like garlic cloves. And he's like, give me the bread. And like there's no bread. So like you can't click on any bread. And so he just keeps saying it. And then like finally they click on a garlic and he's like, no, I don't want it. And he like throws it.
Right, and then he gets to where he wants to be given an orb.
Yeah. Yeah, then it gets like some non-food choices. Very interesting.
Yeah, and then he eats the watermark, and the thing goes weird.
Yeah.
And then he walks
This is
off.
funny.
So yeah, when I first watched this, I thought this was just like a thing the guy who created it did. But no, it turns out this was an actual game, apparently.
Oh, it was? I thought it was just like a funny video. That's funny.
Yeah, no, apparently he's just like riffing on an actual game. And the like I didn't look too deeply into this because it looks like a parody of just like kids video games, like it's just like classic of kids games from that era where it was just like some guy would come up to a thing and tell you to give him something.
Yeah.
Which is just like like, hey kids, can you spot the thing? The word the guy said?
Yeah, it's entertaining and also weird.
Yeah, but apparently it's a, actual game, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, well, next.
The Gamer's Choice.
Yes. So this is a skit using the characters from the video game Deus Ex.
Yeah, never heard of this.
We've actually watched another comedy thing from involving Deus Ex, so...
Okay, I don't remember that. I don't really get this one. It's like a video game and he says, listen up, that's Gamer's Choice.
Yeah. So the one character's trying to be serious, and the other character's just talking about Monster Energy.
It's very odd.
It's just kind of like a non sequitur, like the one character trying to get his attention to talk about something. And he's like, that's the gamer's choice instead.
Yeah, listen up. That's the gamer's choice.
This is funny to me.
Yeah, it is funny. And I have no recollection of previously seeing anything like that, so...
Well, these characters have appeared before. It's the warning, old men video, if you remember that.
Vaguely remember that.
Oh, okay. Well, we've seen these characters before. Anyways, next.
Next is the Windows XP shutdown.
Yep.
Definitely remember this one.
Yep.
I feel like this should play like as a soundtrack, like whenever you go to sleep. Like every time you go to sleep, just play this sound.
Yep, that is what it sounds like. It's the Windows XP shutdown sound.
Interesting.
Alright, well, next.
Uptown Funk.
Yeah, so the actual title of the video is Creeper All-Man Discord Meme, except it's Uptown Funk.
Yeah, so basically they like play the song like Uptown Funk by oh my mind just went blank. What's the name?
Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars. The song is from 2014.
Yeah, featuring Bruno Mars. Yeah. So they play this Uptown Funk song, but they play it like based on what people post, like in that order.
Yeah, so it's people in a chat room posting the lyrics to Uptown Funk, and they like play the parts of the song. So if they like repeat this part in the chat room, the song repeats. And the reason it's called Creeper All Man Discord Meme, or sometimes the song randomly goes Creeper.
Yeah.
It's because the original of this meme was from a song about creepers, which are from Minecraft, because it was a Minecraft song parody of the song DJ Got Us Fallen in Love by Usher, featuring Pitbull from 2010. Because Minecraft song parodies were really popular in like 2010. I've always hated them, but I thought this meme was really funny from like 5 years ago, where it started with people in a Discord trying to sing, or trying to type out the lyrics to Creeper All Man. And there were several variations, including this one.
Interesting. Yeah, this is kind of funny. I like these kind of songs.
Yeah, I thought this one was very funny. Just them, like, repeating stuff randomly. Or saying stuff wrong, or saying, like, other stuff that they just read out in text-to-speech.
Yeah, putting it, like, out of order and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Love that. I feel like it probably took a lot of, like, producing this, putting it together.
Yeah, the editing's
which is what I appreciate.
Ridiculous,
yeah. But exactly. Yeah. Somebody spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah, but yeah. Very funny.
Yeah, definitely. All right, next we have the PS1 startup. I'm not familiar with this one, but it does sound very cinematic.
Yeah, it's very ominous almost, dramatic. But like the XP in 95 for it, this is the sound that played every time you booted up a PlayStation 1.
Exactly. I figured that's what it was. I just wasn't as familiar with PlayStation 1, so yeah.
Alright, well, next.
Okay, so how do you pronounce the next one?
I believe Uboa, but I'm not positive. It's Japanese, so.
Okay. So, this is just like a weird game where, like a video game where the player like goes through water and it has like a lot of water sounds, and then like a weird looking creature, like ghoul looking creature is around.
Yeah, so this is from the 2004 game Yume Nikki, which you've actually played.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like way out of the way house, which has a person in it. It's one of the like few people in the game. Like actual people and not like random creature things. And if you go in here and turn the light switch off and like go back out and go back in over and over again, eventually this weird like ghoul guy will appear when you turn the light switch off, and then you kind of get stuck there. It's kind of like creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very cool video game, and this is like one of the most famous scenes from it.
I recognize the game. I didn't recognize the ghoul person, but it was just like an interesting little scene.
Yeah. But yeah, just figured I'd put this in here.
Alright, next, rack railway points.
Yeah, so I found this by looking up funicular, because I was like trying to round out the list of YouTube videos, and I was like typing in random words and phrases into the search bar, and this popped up and is relatively popular. And it's just a video of a railway, like, switching back and forth, the, like, track.
Yeah, it's like a railroad changing tracks, and people are like in the video, people are like taking photos with like a nice camera. It must have been a momentous occasion, is all I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's definitely interesting how popular it was.
Yeah, no, I saw this and I'm like, why is this video so popular? Like, I gotta put this in the, in the list.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think it's interesting, and like, it was really like a smooth changeover. Like, they changed the rail over to like the other track, and then they changed it back again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yep. Next.
My weekend as a 28-year-old in Chicago. I thought this was really funny, like, because, wow, this guy was all over the place. Like, obviously loaded with way too much to do and way too many Marg towers. So basically, it was kind of like a,
yet another Marg
like
tower.
a spoof. Yeah, yet another Marg tower. A spoof of like when people like on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, like make these videos, like my weekend. I thought it was just funny because it was like oddly specific, like my weekend as a 28-year-old in Chicago. And so you think it's like a real thing, like he's going through like, I started my day like this and this and that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's all just like shots of him like going places. But then like you realize like, okay, this is making fun of it because he does like a million things.
Yeah, he
like
does
in
way
this
too
one
much.
weekend. And like the amount of food and drinking was like obscene. It was just funny. It was like, and then we went here and we got a margarita tower. And then we went here. And so like randomly throughout, he's like, and yet another Marg tower.
Yeah.
So like he had like, I don't know, like 5 margarita towers in one weekend or something. Like it was just like a ridiculous thing. But I thought it was really funny because I love like spoofing of these types of videos.
Yeah. Just very funny. His delivery's perfect for like a spoof, and it just does way too much stuff. He's always like, which is actually really cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's like, we went to the ice cream museum, which was really a blast, or whatever. And then they show him like plopping on the bed, and he's like, and I was exhausted after that, but then I got up and I did this, and this. Like it was just like a random. And I was like, the amount of money that this guy supposedly spent in one weekend is so goofy, but I liked the footage and thought it was a funny spoof on that.
Yeah, yet another Marg tower.
Yeah, exactly. Fun times.
We should get a Marg tower.
We should, except I don't like margaritas, so maybe a different tower.
Yeah. All right. Well, next.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Ghost Trick?
Yes. So this is the music to the dual field for Ghost Trick, which is like a deck in the game. Yu-Gi-Oh's a card game that's like little cute versions of various like ghosts and monsters.
So this is just like a theme song.
Yeah. You can see the art on the page. On the YouTube video it has like the art, but it's just the music to it.
Yeah.
Which I think's the best song in the game. Just whimsical.
It was a nice little song. Yeah. I liked it. It was pleasant.
Yep. All right.
Next.
Well, next.
I have Coming Out of My Cage.
Yes.
So it's the song Coming Out of My Cage, but it's like played to like a dog coming out of its kennel.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's Mr. Brightside, the first line, which is coming out of my cage, and it's just 2 pictures, one of the dog in the cage and one of the dog standing out of the cage with the door open.
Yeah, it's just a comical little video on that. I liked it.
Yep. Next.
Michael Myers hits the gritty.
Yes.
It's exactly what it sounds like. So weird and also scary.
Well, you omitted part. So the original is like a TikTok, and this is someone took this from Twitter and uploaded it to YouTube.
Okay.
But because I saw the original on Twitter, but it's 2 pictures and 2 videos. The first one's a picture of Michael Myers saying, "Dr. Loomis, watch me hit the gritty." The second one's Dr. Loomis. I haven't seen Michael Myers stuff, so I don't know anything about this, but he says no, he's holding a gun. He says, "No, Michael, you will do no such thing. Leave Hattersfield alone, Michael." And then the third panel is the video of Michael Myers hitting the gritty, and the fourth is Dr. Loomis going, "No, no."
Yeah, it's just like a comical, like, goofy thing. For like the Michael Myers.
And Michael Myers theme songs playing
Yeah.
over it, so.
He's hitting the gritty.
Yeah, it's just funny watching Michael Myers hit the gritty and this one character upset about it.
Yeah, it's really goofy, but it's also funny.
Yep. Next,
cows and cows and cows. So someone created a video of like just cows in a field, but made them like animated like to look like they're dancing and then also like morphing into other creatures. So it's like really actually pretty cool editing.
yeah, it's a really cool animation, and this is from 2010, and it's also like this creator went viral multiple times, and this is also like just the kind of stuff that was popular on like 2010 YouTube.
Yeah. It's pretty
just,
funny.
weird
I always
animation.
think like the skill that goes into this. Even though it's like a random video of cows in a field.
Yep.
Like I just think, goodness, like this took some time.
Yep. Yeah, just,
Funny.
emblematic of the time, I feel like, because this sort of stuff was everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it was.
Alright, well, next.
Alright. 95 shut down, so Windows 95. Now, the funny thing is, I don't remember the 95 startup, but I do remember this sound. So then I was like, maybe I didn't skip this version.
Maybe.
Or maybe they used the sound in like other like subsequent
that's
Windows
possible.
versions. Maybe that's what it was. But I was like, oh, I remember this.
Yep.
All right.
Next.
Everybody to the Limit. So it's that same little weird wrestling mask guy, and he's singing a weird song with bad spelling.
This is the Fuhugu Gods. It's a song about Fuhugu Gods from that earlier Homestar Runner Strong Bad email we watched.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's the follow-up to the email where the person's like, "I love you, Fuhugu Gods."
So then he's just singing a little song.
Yeah, and there's a little animated music video.
Love that. Fun times.
Yep.
Okay. Next 11'8".
Yeah, so there is a bridge in North Carolina that is the clearance is 11 foot 8 inches, which actually they've expanded it so it's 12 foot 4 inches.
Yeah.
However, there's a problem. It's a really short bridge, so a bunch of like tall trucks and stuff keep running into it. And this whole YouTube channel is someone has a camera set up out there, and just uploads the videos of trucks like running into the bridge on it.
Yeah, it's oddly satisfying to watch because this big truck like runs into the bridge and it's like the perfect peel off. Like it just like peels off like a layer of metal like off of the top of the truck. Like it's kind of crazy looking. Like this is actually crazy. But I'm like, why wouldn't you stop? Like when you first heard scraping, why would you not just like slam on the brake?
There are dozens of videos of this. So.
I don't understand this. Like, you hear it scraping. Do you not know it's peeling a layer of metal off of your truck?
I don't know.
I don't know. And I guess maybe because you're going fast through it or something, maybe like you just don't have time to stop. I don't really know, but it's just like, it's kind of crazy looking. It just like scrapes the first little layer right off of there.
Oh, there are several warning signs that,
yeah.
if you're too tall, you need to, turn away. But yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're driving a big truck, like, you should be aware of what your clearance is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what do I know?
It's also possible, like, there's a lot of these are, like, U-Haul equivalents. So for someone, like, renting a truck, it's basically, like, probably don't know, even though they probably should, but yeah.
Yeah, or they're just not in practice of, like, watching for clearance, and so you're just driving and not knowing what you're doing, so that's probably more likely. But that had to suck.
Yeah, I think this is maybe just a weirdly short bridge.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yep.
All right.
Next.
The next one. XOXO. Gossip Girl.
Yeah,
so
this is Gossip Girl intro.
Yeah, this is my fave. Obviously, I've talked extensively about my Gossip Girl obsession for a while. So I like this one.
Yep, it's iconic. I mean, I know about it and I've never seen Gossip Girl, so.
Yeah, like you have to know about this. Like,
right. So I was like, throw it in there.
Yeah, throw it in there. Love that. I like that you threw that in there. It's my favorite. I need to watch that again.
XOXO.
Gossip Girl. You know you love me. Anyways.
Next.
Yeah, fun times. Next, so this is Link, which is from The Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
And this sounds like my inner dialogue sometimes.
Yeah, so it's just, like, you know, there's various different Links in the series, and they each have different, like, voice acting, and this is just several of them screaming, which happens in the game quite a bit.
Yeah, that happens in my head quite a bit. Ah! Yeah, love that.
Yep.
I found it to be entertaining.
Yep.
All right, next.
Then last...
Do you have the time?
Yeah, so this is the song Basket Case by Green Day, but all the lyrics are, well, most of them are Do You Have the Time, which is the opening line.
Yeah.
And Mr. Green Day does not have the time.
No, obviously. Yeah, this is a good song. This is one of those like repetitive line, comedy type of things. So I thought it was pretty funny.
Which I'm always throwing in there.
Yeah.
This one in particular is one that I like, like ever since I found out about these, like, just taking one of the lines and repeating it over and over again. I'll sometimes take songs in my head and do that with them. And usually when I try to look them up, they don't have, like, nobody else has thought to do that. But in this case, they have.
It's a good one. It's iconic.
Yep. And it's, him saying, Do you have the time?
Love that.
Or I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the last one. What'd you think?
Closing thoughts. Once again, another eclectic, curated list, I will say. I thought it was funny. I thought it was good. Some of them I obviously didn't get the reference on, but that's not unusual for me. So I thought it was funny.
Yeah. I mean, I like doing these. Just putting together random YouTube videos and we talk about them.
Yeah, I like watching random YouTube videos. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, there you go.
Yep, well, I guess I'll take us out, unless you have anything else to add.
Nope, we're all good.
Alright, well, this has been Beachview. Thanks for listening and tune in next time. Bye!
Bye!